What's up, guys? Welcome to B Sports Picks. I'm going to hook you guys up with one very strong parlay. It's going to be a mixture between the NBA and baseball. I'll explain exactly what that is. I'll show you exactly what I'm going with. All right, I'm going to sort through 9 different players, and then I'm going to go through, give you the baseball play and the basketball play. These 9 players I have not gone through, so we'll see right now exactly how I think about these, so you can see exactly what I'm looking at. From that 168 players, it got sorted out to about 25. And then I removed the crazy odds over here. And then now there was about 15. From those 15, some of them were not playing today. So I actually have about 9 players, which I mentioned. So right now I'm going to go through these players and you can see how I think about this. So number one thing I look at is this just overall graph. And you can just see overall. They've played against the Spurs the last 3 games over here. And right away, I can see that he hit this line 3 games ago. 2 games ago, he did not. And then 1 game ago, he did not. So I'm not going to touch this. It's a lot easier to read this stuff because you don't have to go deep into the head-to-head stuff because they've been playing the same teams in the playoffs. Either way, you can see that the graph kind of just dips down right there at the end. So I'm going to close this one out. I don't like it. Now, for Amen Thompson, these are what we're looking at is actually alternate lines. So again, I'm going to go and show you this, and it just kind of goes down the line right here. So Karl Anthony Towns wasn't playing today. Dika right here, which is the one that we just removed. Amen Thompson is the line it's telling me to look at is 24.5. The reason this 24.5 exists is because it goes through this and gives me all like the 100% hit rates, 90% hit rates, and stuff like that. So right here, I can already tell you I'm going to delete this one because it's 65%, 60%. Anyways, let me just keep going here. So Amen Thompson, 24.5 is what I'm looking at. So I'm going to go over here where it says alternate lines. I'm going to click on 24.5. I'm going to click on done. And you can already see right there, the graph looks a lot cleaner at 100% hit rate in the last 10. We go to the head-to-head. He's hit this 100% of the time against this team. In the last 20, he's hit this 100% of the time. And then the next step after this is to click on his position, which is the defense against this position. And you can see that points allowed is the worst team against this position. The rebounds allowed, they're 7th against this position, and assists. So overall, this is a pretty crappy team against this position. If we scroll down over here, the next thing I want to look at is the minutes. So you can see he's pretty much playing the entire game between 43 or 41 to almost 50 minutes over here. So he's playing a lot of damn minutes. And then in the overall picture, you can see just the last 4 games, he's hit this line, 2 of the last 3 games overall. So this one, I would take this. More than likely, it's going to be a parlay because these odds are expensive at 451. But if you start parlaying 2 or 3 of these together, it's been hitting pretty good. Let's go to the next one. James Harden overall. You can see his graph is pretty steady, but there's a lot of gaps right here, and his line is pretty high at 31.5. So before I even start going into the alternate lines and all that, I'm going to click on his position, and I can already see that the rebounds, they're 6th defense, and assists, they're 2nd defense. So he would pretty much be relying on points. I'm not going to touch this. I'm going to close this out. Next one, you can already see that dip off that I was talking about, especially being that they've played each other already 3 games. So he's missed 3 times in a row against this team, which I don't like that. Go to the next one. Overall, I can see this picture on the right over here. It's all red, but let me just click on his position so you can see, and it's all red. That means that they have great defense against this position. Next one is Stefan Castle. Let's see what we got. Point guard. And this is decent defense against him. I mean, not decent, but it's good for us on the green side. 24.5 is the line. So let's go to alternate line, 24.5. All right. So you can see right there again, it's 100% hit rate in the last 10. In the last 20, it's about 85% hit rate. Head to head, he's hit this 71% hit rate. Okay, so now let's start going deeper into this. We go into the minutes. He's playing around 30 plus minutes per game. He's exceeded this line 4 out of the last 5 games. And the last time they played each other, he actually hit 40 points, rebounds, and assists. So this one I would be taking. And like I mentioned, this is going to be heavy odds. So if you parlayed Stefan Castle at the 24.5 PRA with Amen Thompson points, rebounds, and assists at the over 24.5. That's already one parlay I'm hooking you guys up with if you guys want to do that. Next one is Jason Tatum. Go against his position. There's very weak defense against him at this level. Let's go to the last 20. Actually, let me take a look at his line, his alternate line. 34.5. He's actually hit this for us. A few days ago, we took him at a 34.5 and it hit for us. I think we took him right here and he's hit at 37. So anyways, you can see overall, he's hit this 90% of the time. He's exceeded the 40 points, rebounds, and assists 8 out of the last 10. So this is looking very good. Let's click on minutes. Overall, he's playing about 30 to 40 minutes, which is great. And then you can see against this position, it's 50-50. So meaning, or not even 50-50, it's like 70% of the players don't hit their line. However, they've already played each other here 3 different games, and he's hit this line 3 different times in a row already. So I do like this one at the 34.5. The only risk right here is if what's his name doesn't play, Embiid doesn't play, and then which he's not supposed to play, and then the 76ers start getting blown out. So they'll sit this guy out, and then that'll ruin this play. But that's the risk if you're willing to take it. RJ Barrett. Now the next one. There's 2 more to go through, and then like I mentioned, I'm going to talk about the play that I'm going with, which is a 2-leg parlay in basketball and split between basketball and baseball. RJ Barrett right here, 29.5. We're going to go and get his alternate line at 24.5. We're going to look for his position against his position. You can see his assist is pretty low, 14 and 14 rebounds and points. Let's take a look at the head-to-head trends. He's hit this 90% of the time overall. Let's take a look at his minutes. He's playing a lot of minutes, between 30 and 40 minutes. He's hit this 30 line 5 out of the last 6 games. Last time they played, he hit 40 for 43. So this one is decent also. I'll take this one. Let's go to Durant. We actually took this, but he didn't end up playing the last game. So let's take a look at the alternate line. It's telling us to look at 29.5 right here. He's hit this 100% of the time. Last 20 head-to-head. So you can see the head-to-head is not great. I don't like it already. And then let's take a look at PF. So I'm not going to take this. There's too many contradictions here. I'm not touching this. So just to confirm, the players that I'm taking is going to be Amen Thompson from the Rockets, over 24.5 points, rebounds, and assists. Stephon Castle from the Spurs, over 24.5 points, rebounds, and assists. Jason Tatum, this one's a little bit riskier because of the blowout factor. The current line is -7, which if they stay within those 7-10 points, we should be good. But if they start getting blown out, they're going to sit this dude out. So anyway, that's an extra added layer of risk that you need to consider. Jason Tatum, over 34.5 points, rebounds, and assists. RJ Barrett from the Raptors, over 24.5 points, rebounds, and assists. All right, let's get right into baseball and basketball, the play that I'm going to hook you guys up with. So I'm using this thing called the Sharp Edge tool. You can get 2 weeks for free. The link is in the description for this. So right here, the first thing I want to look at is the line move tool. It's telling me the plays that I should be looking at. This is actually the projections from the sports books. So the line, this is where the sharp money is pushing the line for the teams. So for baseball, it's the Tigers. They started as an underdog at a +1.5. They're currently at a -1.5. So they actually jumped 3 points from underdog to favorite. And then over here, you got the Rays. They started at a -120, and they're currently at a -130. So that's a 10-point line move. And the last one is the Red Sox. They started at a 8.5. They're currently at a 7.5. So that's actually telling you to take a look at the under 8.5. It's telling you to take a look at the Rays on the money line. And then it's telling you to take a look at the Tigers at a +1.5. I already took a look very deeply into the Tigers. There's a lot of contradictions. For example, the win probability says that Cincinnati should win. The insights say that Detroit are just horrible at a 14.3 hit rate. It also says the OPS, which is the on-base percentage. Cincinnati is actually number 2 right now in the last 7 days compared to Detroit being number 9. And then it does say that Cincinnati should be batting in the 9th, which is a green check mark for Detroit. I'm not going to get into all these details on how I read this stuff, but For now, just know that the Detroit Tigers are not looking good for this game. So if you were to get the plus 1.5, that's a decent thing to look at, but I'm not touching this game. The other one was the Rays. You can see the line moved to 10 points in the Rays' favor. The win probability is 59% for the Rays. The deep research actually does say that the Rays should win this. The insights say 75% chance the Rays win this. And then on top of that, the on-base percentage does say that the Tampa Bay Rays are number 15 getting on base, and Minnesota's number 26, which is the bottom 10. The only thing that doesn't stand out right here is that it does say that the Rays should be batting in the ninth. I'm not going to get into those details right now. It's pretty complicated to explain that. But basically, it's saying that the sportsbook think that the Rays will be losing this game because they're at home and they will be batting in the ninth. I really do like this play. I might just take it. I have not touched it yet, but I do like now that I'm looking at this very clearly, I really like the Rays in this position. All right, for the NBA, here we go. Very quickly, it just says Cavaliers should be winning this. These are just projected scores. Cavaliers should be winning this by 4. Spurs should be winning this by 5. Celtics should be winning this by 9. And then the Rockets should be winning this by 9. If we go into the sharp plays right here, it does tell you to take a look at the Cavaliers. It also tells you to take a look at Boston. The only one I'm going to be looking at is Boston. So right here, it does say they should be winning this by 9 points. The verdict over here there's a lot of reasoning why the Celtics should win this game. The only thing, the line did not move. It's stuck at a -7.5, even though the bets and the money is split at 52%. It does say that the sharp differential is 4% on Boston. You can see they do cover spreads 70% of the time. In the insights, it does say that there's 70% hit rate on the road, which is good. And then overall team is excellent. You can see it's 98% for overall offense and defense. Win probability is 81%. Also, the 2 injuries for 76ers is Joel Embiid. He is questionable. He's not ruled out yet. But if he does not play, the Boston Celtics should cover the spread. I'm not taking it at the spread. I'm going to tell you exactly how I'm taking it. But let me talk about the other play first. So the other play right here is going to be the under. I'm going to actually take the under 1.5 no runs first inning. So the way I read this is this pitcher right here. You can see he's hit this line 100% of the time. This pitcher has hit this line 100% of the time, meaning they have not gotten a run in the first inning when they're facing these 2 pitchers. Now, having said that, this guy has only started 1 time this season, and this guy has started 5 times overall. And you can see each one of those times they have not gotten an a run in the first inning. On top of that, we're going to look at the offense side now. So the defense is great, but now let's look at the offense. And the offense over here, they're the worst team to not get an RB or a run in the first inning. They're also in the last 3 games, they did get 1 game where they got a run. So they're hitting at about a 54% hit rate on getting a run in the first inning, which overall, they're just the worst team, like I mentioned. On top of that, we're going to look at the offense for the other side, 19 ranked. They have not gotten a run in the last 3 games. And then overall hit rate, this is red because they do get runs in the first inning. So overall picture, I really like this one. I would say it's like a B grade. But like I said, I'm going to buy this back even further. Now, before we get into the play here, I'm going to give you guys the play right now. Make sure you comment, make sure you like, make sure you subscribe. If you do all 3 of those, you have a chance to win a 1-week free VIP. I was doing this about 2-3 weeks ago, and somebody won the VIP. But just make sure you do this. Where, like I said, if we get to 20 comments, I'll give away 1 week for free. So the only way you're going to be able to win is if you comment, if you like, and you have to be subscribed. That's the only way you would win for a chance to win the 1 week for free on the VIP. Here's the play. Celtics money line. We got the Nationals and the White Sox under 1.5 no run first inning. That means even if they get 1 run in the first inning, it doesn't matter. They have to hit 2 for this bet to lose. I really do like the Celtics for all the reasons I talked about, so that should be an easy one. And then the Nationals and the White Sox under 1 no run first inning. All right, so I gave you guys a lot more value than I thought I was actually going to throw out today. I was going to give you guys just that 1 parlay, but then I went into the player props and stuff like that. Either way, it's done. I really do appreciate you guys that are here. Make sure you comment for a chance to win the 1 week. check out the Sharp Edge 2 weeks for free. And what I'm actually doing, what I announced yesterday, is that I'm throwing in the Discord and the Sharp Edge together. So it's going to be a bundle. So we'll be able to talk game inside the Discord, and that's going to include the tool, the Sharp Edge also. So make sure you take advantage of all that stuff, and let's get to 5,000 subscribers. Thank you so much. Let's have a great day.